every Saturdays from 4 to 4:30 and a repeat on a Thursday from 10 a.m. With me, Zion the Lion, and of course Adimini Chismo. You know how we do it.
MBC, inspiring the nation.
Good afternoon, I'm James Gumbo with the lunch edition of MBC News. The headlines. Congestion at Kamuzu Central Hospital Isolation Center as COVID-19 cases continue spreading at an alarming rate. Malawians urged to venture into power generation business to help eradicate electricity challenges. And in sports, Wanderers FC confident to win the TNM Super League title. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 says the recent spike of COVID-19 cases might be caused by a new strain of coronavirus, but procedures are underway to confirm the development. Co-chairpersons for the task force, Kumbize Chiponda and Dr. John Puka, have disclosed this during a press briefing on Tuesday afternoon in Lilongwe. Thomas Piata reports.
The two have disclosed a few hours after confirmed reports that the 20-bed COVID-19 treatment center at Kamuzu Central Hospital in Lilongwe has run out of space. Such is also a case at the 4-bed isolation center at Bwaira Hospital within the capital Lilongwe. Speaking during the press briefing, the two confirmed that the number of COVID-19 cases have more than doubled within the past few weeks. They added within the past 24 hours, the number of patients across the country's isolation centers has risen from 33 to 55. At this point, Dr. Puga added that unlike was the case before, more young people are now testing positive for the coronavirus. He added a few days ago, 3 people within the age range of 26 to 30 have died of the pandemic. In her remarks, Minister of Health Kumbize Chiponda said the figures have also gone up due to returnees from South Africa and other countries. She then announced that borders will remain closed and that returnees into the country will be required to certificates attesting that they are COVID-19 negative. At this point, the minister added that all returnees will be under mandatory institutional quarantine.
There have been a great concern about the returnees and indeed also devotees who have been coming here in large numbers. As a COVID committee, we have agreed that from today onwards, all the returnees, devotees, will be under institutional quarantine, which will be managed by us.
In his remarks, Chairperson of the task force, Dr. John Puga, further pointed out that vaccination against the pandemic will take a while for everyone to access, citing high global demand against supply. He then called on the public to continue observing COVID-19 preventive measures.
So you clearly see that for us to have adequate volumes of the vaccine, considering also the slow production, it's very clear that it is not the way for us to rely our prevention or our survival on. We still have to depend on the preventive measures of COVID-19.
According to the task force, the number of people who have died of the outbreak has now risen to 119. Thomas Piada, MBC, Lilongwe.
Meanwhile, the director of Kamuzu Central Hospital, Dr. Jonathan Goma, has confirmed that the facility's isolation center is full. Dr. Ngoma says the rise in numbers of people admitted at the center is due to a new strain of the COVID-19 global pandemic that he says is spreading at an alarming rate. He says plans are underway to turn some tents at the facility into isolation rooms. MSCE Examinations have started across the country amid reports of tight security in and around exam centers. About 155,000 learners are sitting for the examinations, which are being re-administered after they were cancelled due to a leakage last year. Beatrice Mape with the details.
Fresh examinations for the Malawi Schools Certificate of Education.
A tour MBC made to some schools in Blantyre found everything in place as authorities were running up and down to ensure a smooth administration of the exam. MBC visited Blantyre Secondary School, HH High Mission Secondary School, as well as Zingwangwa Secondary School, where agriculture practical exams were being administered, to assess how it is being handled. Some of the notable things at the centers were tight security, as well as observation of COVID-19 prevention measures. The head teacher for HHI, Jesse Manga, says so far the exams have started smoothly, as they have all the materials needed to re-administer the exams successfully.
We have started very well, just because all the practical materials were already available, were formed in good time, and all students are available. Nobody is absent. What I'm encouraging them to do is just to be focused, to continue working very hard, and not to be discouraged in whatsoever. And they shouldn't be taken up by what is appearing on the social media.
This is not different from Zingwangwa Secondary School. Head teacher for the school, Steve Kungala, says so far they haven't encountered any challenge.
We have started on a very good note. We haven't seen any students discussing around. Those could be the signs that something is wrong. But so far, as you have seen walking around the school, we don't see students in groups discussing, which means that I think we are on the right path. So far, we haven't faced any challenges. If any, maybe in the next 2-3 days. But as of today, no major challenges.
But to the students, re-administering the exams has brought mixed reactions. Some are happy and some are conscious.
I am very grateful that we are now back in exams. Yeah, I'm well prepared to write the exams. Yeah.
I haven't prepared very well for my exams. There have been many challenges. First, there was COVID-19 and its suspension followed after leaking. Then, we were very prepared. It's different from this time around.
The MSCE examinations are being re-administered after some papers leaked during last year's examinations. Government has spent 4 billion kwacha to re-administer the exams. Beatrice Mwabe, MBC News, Blantyre.
Isaac Jali has an update from the Central Region.
Fresh examinations for the Malawi Schools Certificate of Education MSCE started as scheduled at Bwaira Secondary School in Lilongwe, with the military and police in full control of security to avoid last year's massive leakage, which led to the cancellation of the process. Besides the tight security, all secondary schools visited in Lilongwe were enforcing the COVID-19 preventive measures. Head teacher of Bwaira Secondary School, Stephen Banda, said the school is encouraging students to observe physical distance, wearing of masks and sanitizing.
As of now, all the examinations for this week have already come. As well as a cluster, we are keeping some of the exams here, and we were brought by my Defense Force, and we have also my police service who are guarding who will be running the examinations. All the materials which will be required for the examinations have already also been brought. So the invigilators are also here.
Besta Kabula is head teacher at Nkwichi Secondary School and says security cannot be better than it is now.
I can see that security is there. As you have seen here, we have been given one of the security person that is a policeman, and also at the distribution center there are also some who are also manning the security, like the army officers, which means we can be confident enough to say that there is security.
Following a landmark leakage of MSCE examinations last year, government through the Malawi National Examinations Board (MANEB) is administering fresh examinations amid tight security and strict adherence of COVID-19 preventive measures. Reports show that over 140,000 candidates are sitting the fresh examinations. Isaac Jali, MBC, Lilongwe.
MBC also made a tour to some schools in Zuzu. Details in this report.
Form 4 students across the country are again back on the desk for their Malawi School Certificate of Education MSc examinations. Looking at the students from a far distance in some examination rooms, one would easily tell that the students are eager to obtain the paper. A visit by MBC to some examination centers in Mzuzu City has shown that security is tight. At Katoto Secondary School, 600 students are sitting for the examinations, with all COVID-19 preventive measures being observed.
The exams have started on a good note because we are fully prepared. Katoto has a big school in the north and within the city here. We have made sure that management has procured all the necessary materials for this examination.
At St. Peter's Catholic Secondary School, over 400 students are on the MSCE exam roll. Head teacher for St. Peter's Catholic Secondary School, Kelvin Moore, says unlike last year where the exam was delayed due to late coming of invigilators, this year the examinations started on time.
We followed all the necessary COVID preventive measures where we have put the buckets, we have the sanitizer as well as pure water, and then we have asked the learners to make sure that they are putting on masks during the entire exam, and on that one we don't do any half measure.
The readministration of the Malawi School Certificate of Education examinations is expected to run up to the end of January.
You're watching the lunch edition of MBC News with me, James Gumbo. A reminder of our top stories. Congestion at Kamuzu Central Hospital Isolation Center as COVID-19 cases continue spreading at an alarming rate. Malawians urged to venture into power generation business to help eradicate electricity challenges. And in sports, Wanderers FC confident to win the TNM Super League title.
This is MBC. Make every tambala of your advertising budget count. Reach your target. Grow your brand with the market leader. NBC, your reliable, trusted, and mature companion.
MBC, inspiring the nation.
Thank you for staying with us. Police in the northern region have arrested 10 people in connection with the brutal murder of 2 men at Mpamba in Carter Bay over witchcraft accusations. Deputy spokesperson for the police in the northern region, Sub-Inspector Maurice Chepola, confirmed the development, saying the 10 were arrested during a raid on Monday night. The deceased were suspected to have killed a man through witchcraft last week.
We have arrested 10 suspects whom we are suspecting that they took a hand in the killing of those 2 people in Karabe, suspected of witchcraft. Well, last night we raided their homes and affected arrests, and I can also confirm to you that they are being kept at the Mzuzu police station pending court appearance. I can also mention to you that further arrests will fall as investigations are still underway. Let me also mention to members of the general public that time has come that everyone should know that mob justice is crime, and anybody caught in the act of mob justice will not be spared and will be taken to court to answer charges relating to mob justice accordingly.
Malawians have been urged to engage in power generation business to help eradicate electricity challenges. Edith Kaira with the details.
For years now, the country has been experiencing electricity challenges. A week rarely passes without the country experiencing blackouts. As of now, Malawi is producing only about 400 megawatts, which is still not meeting the current electricity demand. MBC spoke to the Minister of Energy, Newton Gambala, to find out what government is doing to address the challenge. The minister said government is working tirelessly to address the electricity woes. He said it is the wish of government that by 2030, Malawi should be producing 2,000 megawatts. Among other plans, Gambala disclosed that government will be launching new power stations this year to increase the generation capacity.
We are launching a few power stations, one which has got a capacity of about 60 megawatts. It will be connected to the grid in April next year, which is about 4 months from now. And we also have 18 megawatts from Kula 4, Tedzan 4, which is a hydro plant, and that one is 18.2 megawatts, which also assist in increasing the capacity.
On the other hand, the minister also added that another power station will be launched in Mulanje, the effort of an independent power producer. He therefore urged people to invest in power generation in the form of independent power producers. He said his ministry has already engaged financial institutions to offer a money lending facility to Malawians who are interested to invest in the energy sector.
I would like to encourage Malawians to participate in power generation in Malawi through the IPP arrangement, independent power producer arrangement with government. I know currently a lot of people in Malawi think they would not participate in this because they don't have money to construct a power station. But there are a lot of institutions, finance institutions out there who are interested in financing such projects. I was just recently today talking to one of the bank managers, actually one of the CEOs, who said they are ready to finance some of the interested business people who would want to participate in power generation in Malawi. This is a very good business venture.
The minister has meanwhile also indicated that Malawi will soon start benefiting from the power interconnection agreements with Mozambique and Zambia, where the country expects to get about 70 megawatts from each line. Edith Kaira, MBC, Lilongwe.
Bishop for the Anglican Diocese of Upper Shire, Brighton Malasa, has called on Malawians to look up to God for a prosperous new year. He was speaking during the official opening of Nkope Hill Parish in Mangochi. Hassan Piri has filed this report.
Speaking to the congregation at Nkope Hill Parish under Anglican Diocese of Upper Shire, Bishop Brighton Malasa said Christians should use the new church to pray for Malawi to prosper in 2021. He said Malawi faced a number of challenges, including a tough economy and COVID-19 pandemic, which need God's help in a new year.
We pray that 2021 must be a better year than the previous years. You agree with me that 2020 was not such a good year to reckon with. We had and encountered a number of challenges in all spheres, church, political, even in our villages, so many challenges. And above all, coronavirus devastated our country. We pray that 2021, even now, we still have some challenges with COVID. But nonetheless, we are the people who trust God. And my message is basically that we should not lose hope.
Member of Parliament for Mangochi Central, Victoria Kingston, said the new church will give Christians from Nkope, Makawa and Madeko an opportunity to take part in praying for the salvation of Mother Malawi from the jaws of COVID-19 pandemic.
It is my prayer and wish that God, I'm sure we need God's intervention now. God should have mercy on us to clear away this COVID-19. But I also urge the community, we should not relax. We hear there's another second wave of COVID-19. So we should not relax. We should carry on washing our hands, extending the social distance, and carry on putting on the mask so that this second wave should not hit us.
Nkope Hiru Parish becomes the 286th church in the Diocese of Upper Shire. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Mangochi.
And in sports, Wanderers Football Club says it is confident it will win the TNM Super League title this season. Chairperson Simon Sikwese says despite the team's shortcomings, the Nomads, as they are fondly known, are in for real competition. He says the team is putting its house in order and therefore in contention for the league title. The team currently sits on position 10, having accumulated 6 points from a possible 15. It has only managed a single win, 3 draws and a loss, a development that has displeased many of its supporters.
There is stiff competition in the TNM Super League at the moment. Are you ready to compete for the title and other trophies?
I would say yes, because the discussion that we have had with the players was very positive. The players understood the situation that the club is in, and we did discuss and agree that as much as we have these problems, but when we go on the ground, let's forget about the problems that we have. Let's focus on the game. Let's focus on winning. So I'm sure that with positive response that we got from the players, we should be able to challenge the league this season. And I know that our players are going to put as much effort because one of the things that can help us a lot is the more we win, the more our supporters are going to be encouraged, and the more they'll be willing to help the club.
Finally, across the borders, Zimbabwe has entered into a second lockdown to limit the spread of coronavirus following a surge in new cases. The restrictions under 11-4 lockdown will be in place for the next 30 days. They include a stay-at-home order, except movement to access food and medicine. President Emerson Mnangagwa, in a tweet, has urged people to avoid large gatherings and non-essential travel. Reports from Harare say police have mounted checkpoints on major roads leading to the capital where only essential services are permitted to pass. However, the reports say it is business as usual in some residential areas. Well, that story takes us to the close of the lunch edition of MBC News. A reminder for our top stories before we leave. Congestion at Kamuzu Central Hospital Isolation Center as COVID-19 cases continue spreading at an alarming rate. Malawians urged to venture into power generation business to help eradicate electricity challenges. And in sports, Wanderers FC confident to win the TNM Super League title. For more news, visit mbc.mw. I'm James Gumbwa saying thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.